authorities have got the army on standby, ready to evacuate. So we know that 400 homes were evacuated in Brechin, that's further south of here in Angus. But certainly in Angus and even into Aberdeenshire, they are getting ready to possibly evacuate as the rivers continue to swell, and that's going to go probably into Saturday and possibly Sunday morning as well.
Thousands of people are without electricity in Aberdeenshire as Storm Babet continues to batter parts of Scotland. The Scottish Environment Protection Agency says river swells in Angus and along the River Esk could reach unprecedented levels. Our reporter Nick Ellerby joins us from Stonehaven. Nick, what are conditions like there this morning?
Morning, Callum. Well, very, very windy still. We had gusts of up to about 70 miles an hour around here last night, and the waves here in Stonehaven, reports of some 22 or 20 foot waves. I don't know if you can see me, I'm in vision for you, Callum. The waves are still crashing over the pier, and I'm actually just with Brian McQueen here, who's lost. Have you lost your powerboat, sir? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's just over there. It's turned upside down now, so...
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
Is it salvageable?
I wouldn't think so. Can't imagine it would be. But we're just going to make an attempt just now. I've got some friends just arrived in the car behind me, and we're going to have a go at turning it over, but I don't think so.
All right, sir, good luck. I'm sorry to hear about that. Okay, so that's Brian McQueen, local resident. He's lost his powerboat. I mean, around here, a lot of homes are still without power. I think some 18,000 homes in Scotland lost power, but most of those now back on. But in terms of the travel, there are no trains north of Edinburgh, and the roads, well, the A90 out of Stonehaven down towards Dundee is completely shut. We're going to have to get back to Edinburgh somehow. We're going to probably try and take the coastal road. But the winds are still very high. Yeah. That rain is now easing down south, but some places have had some 25 centimetres of rain in the last 36 hours. So we're talking about nearly a foot. That's a month's worth of rain. And then further south in Brechin, where the worst flooding is in Angus, where that woman sadly was swept away in the water of Lee, they have never seen the river that high before. This is, unprecedented levels of rain.
Yeah, in terms of the forecast, Nick, and how the rest of the day looks, the suggestion is that water levels in rivers, etc., are set to continue to rise.
Yes, that's right. So there's been so much rain obviously coming down from the Highlands as well. So people, as I understand it, authorities have got the army on standby, ready to evacuate. So we know that 400 homes were evacuated in Brechin, that's further south of here in Angus. But certainly in Angus and even into Aberdeenshire, they are getting ready to possibly evacuate as the rivers continue to swell, and that's going to go probably into Saturday and possibly Sunday morning as well.
Gosh, in terms of the kind of recovery efforts, and by that I do mean in terms of people's homes, properties, businesses, getting the power back on, what are the predictions there from those that are working to try to help those that are struggling?
Well, I have to say, Scottish Power are very, very quick. So we know that, like I said, some 18,500 homes lost power, but I think some 4,000 now only are still without power. So we're talking about, 75% were back on by 9 p.m. last night. The rest they're working on to get back as quickly as possible. But the real problem is some of those communities cut off by floods. I'm in Stonehaven, just south of Aberdeen, and there was some bad flooding here 5 years ago. The council, I know, did pay for a lot of refits for the businesses around here. Near the harbour, there's a lot of sandbags. They've actually got floodgates and things on their door. Where we are here, just south of Aberdeen, escaped the worst of that rain, and then the rain is now moving south. So it's just in terms of, whether those flood defences hold and how many rivers burst their banks. But Brechin is the worst of it, and people being told to avoid the area and avoid travel if at all possible.
Nick, thank you very much indeed. Really good to speak to you. Nick Ellerby reporting from Stonehaven. It is just worth saying that he is right down at the harbour of Stonehaven, and the sea is absolutely battering the shoreline behind him. There were some waves crashing over the sea walls.
I was going to say, the sea walls are huge, aren't they? And they were crashing over them. And all of the boats behind Nick were quite small boats. I don't know, maybe fishing boats, things like that. There was a powerboat, obviously, that the man, unfortunately, his had turned right over. And when he said, I think it's unlikely we'll recover that, I think he's right. It was not looking good. There was not a lot above the surface, but they were being bashed around. The waves were huge.
I know. I'm not sure I'd be going in to try to recover that boat right now either, given the condition of the water.
But there were people walking around behind him, which just amazed me that people wanted to get that close to the water right now.
Absolutely.